Okay, this simple attention, Akebel, and pay attention, my people. You see, people ask me, Tankroya, why is it that Africa do not progress economically? I said the answer is simple. We are the only continent in the world that consume that which we do not produce and produce that which we do not consume. Why? Because we inherited economic extraction and not economic industrialization. Let me explain. Some people believe that we lost our freedom in 1884-1885 Berlin Conference, the one I call the Scramble for Africa, called upon by Otto von Bismarck. But no, we might have lost our land boundary in 1884-1885, but that's not when we lost our freedom. We lost our freedom the years we regained independence in Ghana, 1957, in Nigeria, 1960s. When African countries began to regain their independence, we actually lost our independence. Let me explain. You see, for so many Africans, we celebrate independence as if it is freedom, but independence is not freedom. What happened in independence is that we simply changed our managers. We were given the right to change our anthem, our national flag, and our president. But the system of economic control remained the same. Let me explain. We still exported our raw materials and then imported them as finished goods even after independence. Our soldiers were still being trained by former colonial powers. Our currencies were still being tied to foreign system. Is that what you call independence? It is not, because we inherited extraction and not industrialization. Let me continue to explain to you as the voice of Akebulan. You see, after independence, our leaders began to borrow loans. They borrowed these loans to develop Africa. But what we forget to understand that IMF and World Bank are not really your friends. You see, you cannot borrow loans to develop Africa, because loans comes with conditions, structural adjustment, currency devaluation, reduced social spending, and a whole lot of things that it comes with privatization. So you cannot develop your country by borrowing loans. So all these countries in Africa borrowing loans, they are deceiving themselves. They are borrowing loans and they are becoming chains. You need to understand that the chains of colonization are visible, but the chains of debt are invisible, because they are reading in systems designed as structures. That is why you become a product of gunboat diplomacy and Western Machiavellian manipulation. What of our leaders? We have leaders who failed us, but we also have leaders who fought for us. But those of our leaders who fought for us, they were kicked out of power. Talk about Kwame Nkrumah. Talk about Thomas Sankara. Talk about Patrice Lumumba and many others who tried to fight for Africa. They were kicked out. So at the end of the day, we Africans were allowed to choose our leaders, but we were not allowed to choose our economic destiny. And that is where it lies. You need to understand that freedom does not come from a black man being a president. Obama proved it. Freedom does not come from a black man being a president. Freedom comes from when you can make decisions concerning your destiny, control your resources, control your currency, make decisions for yourself and not being product of gunboat diplomacy. That is what freedom is. Politically, Africa is independent. But you see, economically, the conversation is still ongoing. We are politically independent, but we are not economic independent. And economic independence is where true freedom lies. That is why Kwame Nkrumah told us Ghanaians on the 1957, on the eve of our independence, that we are not free until we can feed ourselves. Because we are not free until you feed yourself. The man who feeds you controls you. He who pays the bypass, he takes the tune. Yes. So what do we have to do as Akebulans, as Africans? This is what we have to do. We have to understand that in as much as we have gained independence on paper, a second independence must be fought for. But this time around, it will not be fought with guns. No. It will be fought with economic strategy. We must start to patronize home, and home must begin to give us standard. Africa, wisdom is the principal thing. I love you and I care about you. I am still giving you a book. I'll give you another book called The Destruction of Black Civilization. I am giving you the Daughters of Africa. Daughters of Africa is still available. Request for it, I will give it to you. For those who are requested, calm down. Tankroya will get to you. I love you and I care about you. I want you to comment. Freedom Africa. Freedom Akebulan. Wisdom now water. Wisdom Akebulan is the principal thing as you go to your different endeavors this Monday morning all over Akebulan, all over the world. I wish you well. God bless you. Wisdom Akebulan is the principal thing.